Good afternoon, everyone. In the previous class, we have seen the case one of Routh-Harbidge criteria, which is normal construction. And now coming to the case two, you can see the case two is a row of all zeros. So if we get all zeros in a row, then what we do, how we can proceed this construction process, and how can we determine the stability as well as how can we comment on the poles. So now here is the first problem on case two. Using RH criteria, determine the stability of the system and comment the location of poles. So the characteristic equation is given, which is the sixth s power 6, which is sixth order characteristic equation. So total number of poles here are 6 because the s power is 6. So for this characteristic equation, we need to construct the Routh-Harbidge criteria. So the maximum power is 6, which is even number. So that means we need to write even coefficients as a first row, which is s power 6 s power 6 row. So even coefficients means s power 6, s power 4, s square, and s power 0. So these coefficients we should write in the first row, s power 6 row. Okay. Coming to the second row, which is s power 5 row. For the second row, we need to write the odd coefficient, which is 2, 12, 16. So like this. Okay, and now you can see here, you can see 2, 12, and 16. So we can do simplification for this row. We can divide each and every element by 2 here, by 2 and by 2. So we will get 2 by 2 is 1, 12 by 2 is 6, 16 by 2 is 8. This process is to simplify, because see here 12, 16. So 12 into 16 into, so this make the process complex. So that's why if we have any simplification, if we can simplify the complete row, then we can simplify it. So I can simplify by dividing the 2. So we will get 1, 6, and 8. So by rewriting these two rows properly after simplification as, so the first row is 1, 8, 20, 16. So here we cannot simplify because here 1 is there. Of course, 8, 20, 16, these are the 4 multiples, but here 1 is there, so we cannot simplify this row. But here we can simplify and we can write the resultant. Now, in order to calculate the s power row, what we should do? We should multiply 1 into 8 minus 6 into 1 by 1. Is it? So 1 into 8 minus 6 into 1 by 1. What will we get here? Here we will get 2. Similarly, here we will get 2. Don't think here 1 is given, that means this is wrong. Don't think like that. I'll explain why 1 is given here. Okay, so 1 into 8 minus 6 into 1. So 8 minus 6 by 1, which is 2 as a first coefficient. For the second coefficient, 1 into 20 minus 8 into 1 by 1. So 1 into 20 means 20 minus 8. 20 minus 8 means 12. So here we will get 12. And again, for the third coefficient, you can see 1 into 16. And here there is no coefficient. So keep 0. So 0 into 20. So 16 minus 0 by 1. So 16 minus 0 means 16. 16 by 1 means 16 only. So here also we will get 16. Now you can see 2 12 and 16. So we can simplify it by dividing with the 2, as we have done here. The same process we can simplify it. So if we divide it with 2, 2 by 2 we will get 1, 12 by 2 we will get 6, 8, 16 by 2 we will get 8. Okay, so this is how 1, 6, 8 we have got 1, 6 and 8 here. Now for the next row, for calculating s power 3, you can see here s power 5 and s power 4 coefficients are both are same. That means if we calculate s cube coefficients, you'll get zeros only, because 1 into 6 minus 6 into 1. So 6 minus 6, 0. You can see here s power 3 coefficient we have calculated first coefficient as 0. And coming to the second coefficient, here 1 into 8 minus 8 into 1. So 8 minus 8, again we will get 0. You can see here the calculation. Again we will get 0. And here for the both rows there are no elements. So we only get 2 rows only. I mean 2 columns only 2 coefficients, right? And you can see for these 2 coefficients, you can see the complete row, a row of all zeros. So s cube row we got as all zeros. For this type of problem, what we need to do is, so s cube coefficients are 0. So the next power of s cube is s power 4. So the next power of s cube is s power 4. So what we should do is we need to write an auxiliary equation, and this auxiliary equation is named as A, and this auxiliary equation can be written based on the coefficients of the next s power. So here we got s cube row as zeros. So the next s power for this s cube is s power 4. So the above row of this row. So using 1, 6 and 8, using these coefficients, we need to write the auxiliary equation. We know that the coefficients are even order or odd order only, because you can see here for the first row we have taken even because s power 6 is the highest. So s power 6, 4, 2, 0, like this we have taken. In the similar way here also, if we want to write this auxiliary equation using these coefficients, in the same process we need to write. So that means this is s power 4 coefficient, this is s square coefficient, this is s power 0 coefficient. So the auxiliary equation will become A is equal to 1 into s power 4 plus 6 into s square plus 8 into s power 0, or simply 8. So when we get this a row of all zeros condition, we need to take the above row, and using this above row we have to write the auxiliary equation. So we will get the auxiliary equation like this, and after getting the auxiliary equation, we need to differentiate this auxiliary equation with respect to s term. So with respect to s term, we need to differentiate. So here you can see s power 4, if we differentiate s power 4, we will get 4 into s cube, and here 6s square. So s square means 6 into 2s we will get. So 6 into 2 means 12. So 12s will be the term here, and 8 into differentiation, 8 is a constant. If we do differentiation for a constant, we will get 0. So only we have two coefficients, s cube and s. Now, what we should do, we should replace these zeros by these coefficients 4 and 12, because you can see here s cube we got. So in the place of s cube row, we simply replace these coefficients. However, here 4 and 12 are there, so both are 4 multiples. If we simplify or divide with them, divide with 4, then we will get to 1, and here 4 3 is 12, right? So 3. So 1 and 3 are the S cube coefficients, and these S cube coefficients we got from this auxiliary equation. So here the S cube, previously it is 0 and 0. After with the help of auxiliary equation, after that we got S cube as 1 and 3 now. So S cube now we have got 1 and 3. Now with the help of 1 and 3, now you should forget this row now, because in the place of zeros we have replaced zeros with 1 and 3, right? So next we need to calculate the S square row. So in order to calculate the S square row, again 1 into 6, because this row you should forget about these zeros and this, because this is replaced by new row, right? So 1 into 6 minus 3 into 1 by 1, right? So 1 into 6 means 6, minus 3 into 1 means 3. So 6 minus 3, 3 by 1 is 3. So the first coefficient. And the second coefficient, 1 into 8 minus, here there is no coefficient, so keep 0. So 0 into 6 is 0. So 1 into 8 means 8. 8 by 1 is 8 only. So the second coefficient, we have got the second coefficient. Now we have got S square coefficients also, right? Then we need to calculate S power 1 coefficient. So 3 into 3 minus 8 into 1. 3 3s are 9. 9 minus 8. So 9 minus 8 means 1 divided by 3. 1 by 3, which is 0.33. So, and for these two rows, there are no coefficients here. So we won't get any coefficient here for S power 1. And for the last value, which is S power 0. So for S power 0, we have to calculate 0.33 into 8 minus, here no coefficient is there, which means 0 into 3, right? So 0 into 3 means 0. So here we will get 0.33 into 8 by again 0.33. So 0.33 and 0.33 will get cancelled. So we will get 8. Or simply the term what we get here, the term directly we can write here also. You can observe the previous class problems also. The term what we get here directly we can write here. We will get the same answer for these two terms are same. Okay, now we have constructed this. Now look at this first column. However, we got all zeros in a row, and these zeros are replaced. So what we should do, what he has asked is determine the stability. So we have to determine the stability, and the we need to comment the location of the poles. Okay. Now from seeing this first row, we have all zeros in a row. All zeros in a row. So for determining the poles, where the poles are, for determining the poles, we need to do how many poles are on the imaginary. The process is, if we are getting this type of situation or this case, then it means it determines we are having imaginary poles. We are having imaginary poles, and you can see for the stability, you can see there is no sign change in the first row. There is no sign change, but we got this condition. This means the system is marginally stable or limitedly stable. This means the system is marginally stable or limitedly stable. That is because the existence of imaginary roots. So when we get this case, when all zeros are there, then the few roots are definitely imaginary. How many roots are imaginary? That depends upon the auxiliary equation. You can see the auxiliary equation maximum S power is 4. So 4 roots are imaginary roots. If we want to calculate those roots, Now you can see from this is the auxiliary polynomial. We can calculate those roots using this auxiliary polynomial. Of course, this is s power 4 plus 6 s square plus 8. We can calculate the roots easily for the quadratic equation. However, I want to convert this s power 4 into a quadratic equation. So what I do, I replace this s square as x. So in the place of s square, I can write x now. So s power 4 means x square plus 6s square means 6 into x plus 8. So I will calculate the roots for x now, which is minus b plus or minus square root of b square minus 4ac by 2a. Okay, using that formula, this x value can be determined. So you can substitute these values here and you can find the roots of x now initially, which we got as minus 2 or minus 4, because plus or minus is there. So two roots we got because this is a quadratic function. But we have to calculate the roots of s, not the x. But we know the relation between s and x. So what should I do? I got x as minus 2. So s square is equal to x, right? So s square is equal to minus 2 is one condition. And now s square is equal to minus 4 is our second condition. Now apply square root on both sides. What we will get is plus or minus 2 square root of plus or minus square root of minus 2, and here plus or minus square root of minus 4, because we are applying square root on both sides, so we'll get plus or minus. However, you can see minus is there, so we will write plus or minus root 2. This minus can be written as a j, right? So plus root 2j minus root 2j from these two roots. And here also, here for root 4 we will write 2. Okay, so here also plus 2j and minus 2j. So total 4 roots we have got, and you can see here all the 4 roots are imaginary roots. So for case 2, when we get zeros, a row of zeros, then definitely there are imaginary roots, and we have calculated those 4 imaginary roots. So the number of imaginary roots depends upon the auxiliary polynomial. Okay, here the auxiliary polynomial is s power 4. That's why we have got 4 roots. So previously I told that there are no sign changes. That means, but we got a condition that a row of zeros. So no sign changes and a row of zeros. That means the system is limitedly stable. And for this type of condition, the roots are imaginary. In the previous classes also, in the concept of location of poles also, I have told you that when we get imaginary roots, then the system is limitedly stable, right? So here you can see that. And of course, you can comment on these roots, because 4 roots are lying on the imaginary axis, but remaining 2 roots are lying on the left half of the S-plane. Total 6 roots. Why total 6 roots? Because the maximum S power of the given polynomial equation is 6. So we will get 6 roots. So out of 6 roots, 4 roots are imaginary. We have calculated the 4 roots, and remaining 2 roots will be lying on the left half of the S-plane, because there is no sign change. That's why the system is limitedly stable. If we got the same condition, which is case 2, but if we got sign change also, for any of the case, if we get the sign change, immediately you can write that is unstable. Okay, so this is how we can calculate the case 2, which is a row of zeros. The same thing you can done for this expression also. This is the second problem for the second case. You can see this is s power 7 equation, so we will have 7 roots. What he asked is just to determine the stability of the system. for the characteristic equation. So this is the characteristic equation. So using this characteristic equation, we need to determine the stability, just the stability. Okay. Now you can write rho 1 and rho 2 using this expression. So for rho 1, the coefficients will be 1, 24, 24, 23. That's it. 4 coefficients. 1, 24, 24, 23. For the second row, S power 6 row, the coefficients are 9, 24, and here 24, and here 15. So 9, 24, 24, 15. So you can see, in order to simplify the first row, see 1 is a prime number and 23 is a prime number. So we don't have any multiples. But you can see in the second row, 9, 24, 24, and 15, all these are 3 multiples. So we can divide each and every element by 3. So 9 by 3, we will get 8. 24 by 3, sorry, 9 by 3, 3. 24 by 3, 8. Sorry for that. And 24 by 3, again 8. 15 by 3, 5. Now you know the process to calculate S5, right? So 3 into 24 minus 8 into 1, which is 24 minus 8 divided by 3. Here also, 3 into 24 minus 8 into 1 by 3. Here also, 3 into 23 minus 5 into 1 divided by 3. So if we simplify, we will get 1, 1, 1. And in a similar manner, if we calculate for S power 4 also, 1 into 8 minus 1 into 3 by 1, which is 5. 1 into 8 minus 1 into 3 by 1, which is also 5. 1 into 5 minus 0 into 3, 5 by 1, again 5. So if we simplify, we will get S power 4 also all ones. So S power 5 coefficients all ones, S power 4 coefficients also all ones. Right? That means 2 rows are having same coefficients. That means the next row will be obviously zeros. Okay. Now S cube row is having all zeros. So we need to write the auxiliary equation for this case. Again, auxiliary equation can be written for S power 4 for this row. The row which is just above the zeros row. So this is S power 4 term, this is S square term, and this is S power 0 term. So the auxiliary equation will be S power 4 plus S square plus 1. So we need to differentiate with respect to S. We will get 4S cube and 2S. If we simplify, the 4 can be written as 2, the 2 can be written as 1. Now replace S cube as 2 and 1. So we don't consider this row now because we have replaced this zeros row by 2 and 1. And you can continue the process until S power 0. Then check the first column here. You can check the first column here. We have minus 3 here. So you can see here it is positive, but here it is negative. So a positive to negative sign change is there from S square to S power 1. So positive to negative, one sign change, here one sign change. And here also you can see, here it is negative, but here it is positive. So negative to positive sign change is also there. Here, second sign change. So total 2 sign changes are there. So if we get a sign change, then definitely this system is unstable system. This system is unstable. Only he asked to determine the stability. So the system is unstable. If he also wants the comment on roots, then you can see 2 sign changes are there. So on the right half of S plane, 2 poles definitely will be there. Out of 7 poles, 2 poles will be on the right side of S plane because 2 sign changes are there. So this is how we can do for the second case of Routh-Hurwitz process. Now the third case is very simple when compared with the second case. The third case, that is we have to determine the stability. And we have to look at the poles also, comment on the poles also, right? This is the s power 5, which means we have five roots for this characteristic equation. So write the first row, second row, and then you can see 1 into 2 minus 2 into 1, 2 minus 2, 0. 0 by anything will be 0. So here we will get 0 as s cube term. You can see the calculation here also. The first term of s cube is 0, but the second term we got is minus 2. The second term is minus 2. First term is 0, second term is minus 2. So this is case 3, where the first element of your row is 0. So in order to continue this construction, just replace 0 as epsilon. Take epsilon as 0. So replace that 0 by this epsilon and continue the process. Of course, we will get the equations in terms of epsilon equations. Of course. Okay. After completing this, what you should do is you should finally replace 0 in the place of epsilon for determining the stability as well as for commenting on the roots. Simply substitute epsilon as 0 after all the process, after completion of constructing this root array. This is the process. And you can see after substituting like this, after substituting epsilon as 0, you can see this is epsilon. So here we will get 0. And if you substitute 0 here, 2 into 0 is 0 plus 2. 2 by, in the denominator we got 0. So if we got 0 in the denominator, that means it is infinity. You can see here, you can write infinity. And next here, this is 0 because epsilon is 0, and this is also 0. So only 4 we are having, only 4. In the denominator, 2 into epsilon. So this is 0 and only we will get 2. So minus 4 by 2, because minus sign is there. So minus 4 by 2 is 2. Right? So minus sign will be there, because here minus is there. So 4 by 2 is 2. So after substituting epsilon as 0, we got the first column as like this. And you can see a sign change is there. You can see the sign change. That means the system is completely unstable system. And you can comment on the roots. That means you can determine the number of sign changes. Here positive to negative, and here negative to positive. So 2 sign changes are there. So that means 2 roots are lying on the right half of the S plane, and remaining roots are lying on the left half. 2 roots are right half, 3 roots are left half, because it depends upon the number of signs. Okay. Thank you.